everyone and welcome back to my pregnancy updates. This week is week 8. I'm actually just going into week 9, so I can tell you all about the 8th week. And hopefully it won't be as long as previous ones. I'll try and keep it a little bit snappier, but you know what I get like when I start to ramble. So first of all, I thought I would show you what the baby's size is this week and what one of the apps say about the baby's size this week. This is what the baby looks like at 8 weeks on the Sprout app, but this looks a lot more baby-like than some of the other apps that I've got. They still look quite alien-y at this stage, but I love this app, as I said before, because you can kind of look all around and stuff, and it's just really cool. And if you click the little thing there, it says that this week the embryo, it doesn't even say baby, the embryo is now approximately the size of a jelly bean. I think Baby Centre is like a British app, so every day when you read about it, it kind of tells you a bit more about what happens in the UK rather than America, because obviously you can get different advice. So week 8, the baby is about the size of a kidney bean. So I don't know how well you can see that, hopefully you can see. So still really tiny. So it says the baby is 1.6 centimetres this week, and the embryonic tail is just about gone, and all his organs, muscles and nerves are beginning to function. In his brain, nerve cells are branching out to connect with one another, forming primitive neural pathways. Your baby's hands now bend at the wrists. Don't know why I'm doing that. His eyelids cover more of his eyes and taste buds are forming on his tongue. So that's what's going on with the baby this week. Obviously I have very little outward signs of what the baby is actually doing and how the baby's growing. All I know is kind of how I'm feeling at the moment, so I think I'll just go on to talking about that. So I'm not gonna lie, the 8th week has not been the most fun. We're all ill in this house anyway at the moment. I think it's the change in the weather. But on top of that, I just feel so exhausted. That is still my #1 biggest symptom, and I just wish it would go away. Well, I don't, because I know that obviously it's all part of the baby growing and things, and every time you wish that you didn't have a symptom, you feel guilty for wishing that, so you can never win. But yeah, I feel exhausted, and it's just frustrating because I want to be doing things and getting on with stuff. And I just feel like I can't a lot of the time, and then that makes me feel worse because I feel like useless and stuff. In terms of feeling sick, I really think so far and last time I got away with that so easily. I mean, every now and again I do, but this week I felt more hungry than I did in previous weeks, and really just kind of like want to eat a little bit more. I'm still not 100% sure on what it is that I want to eat, but then suddenly I'll think, oh, I really fancy that, and then that's all I want. I've been eating quite a lot of apples, and I like to just peel the skin and then eat the apple, and the other day I actually did that, and then I dropped the apple on the floor and it rolled under the dog's bed, so I had to throw it away. Well, I could have washed it, but I didn't want to wash it. And I started crying because I was like, I put so much effort into peeling the apple and was so excited to eat it, and I just sat and cried. No one else was in the house at the time, so I could just be crazy on my own. And then it took me about an hour to stop being stubborn and go and make another one or peel another one. So it's just kind of, I can laugh about it now, but it's just funny pregnancy hormonal things that just makes you go a bit nuts, really. I feel like I've kind of struggled this week, just feeling a little bit down, and I don't know, because I hate to put a downer on it, because obviously you do feel so lucky to be pregnant and to be able to go through this experience again, but along with it there are the downsides as well, because especially if you've been through it before, you kind of know all of the things you've got to come, like the bad things, and you just kind of feel like, oh god, like I recognise that feeling, and it's just some things about pregnancy are not nice, and along with all of the worry as well, what could go wrong at this stage, and it's just kind of like, just gets your head to a bit of a crazy point at sometimes. So yeah, that's been hard, coupled with the feeling of being really exhausted so that I don't want to do anything, so then I'm sitting around more, thinking about it more, which is probably the worst thing to do. So I'm really looking forward to, hopefully in the next few weeks, the feeling of tiredness kind of wearing off, and getting some energy back, because I just can't stand feeling like this anymore. And I know as soon as I get that feeling back, I'll just be like raring to go. So that will be nice when I feel like that again. Another symptom I've definitely been experiencing this week is spots. Now, if you've watched my channel for a long time, I've never made a secret of the fact that I've suffered with acne since I was very young. I've spoken about it a lot before, and my skin in spot wise has gone up and down over the years. Before getting pregnant, it wasn't too bad, but I think you can even see on our holiday vlog, like, that was obviously around the sort of time that my body realised or started outwardly showing that I was pregnant, because like a few days in, my skin just goes and it's kind of stayed like that since, and I've got spots on my arms, my chest and my back, which I don't normally get. And I know it's hormonal acne because it's all come up here again, which is where I used to get it as a teenager. So one thing that I've been using, and I've been using for not just through pregnancy, but for about 6 months or so, and I did research to check this is okay to use in pregnancy, and as far as I can see it is. But obviously I don't want to recommend anything to anyone unless they've, you know, checked it out for themselves. This is benzoyl peroxide gel. It's more like a cream. And this is such a lifesaver. I won't go into it because this is already getting far too long, but instead of when you get a spot, it coming out in a yellow head or like a hard lump under the skin that you can't squeeze, this just stops all that. It kind of takes the bacteria out of the spot, and it doesn't ever come to a yellow head where you have to pop it and then scar your skin, or an annoying kind of lump. It's just like, I can't really explain, like my skin isn't smooth. It was smooth before I was pregnant using this. The spots are still coming out, but they're not getting to an angry stage. They're just getting to kind of a little bump, and then they go. The problem is they are still marking my skin, because my skin marks incredibly easily, but where I'm not constantly touching my face, like trying to get rid of it, or, you know, all of that kind of stuff, squeezing spots, which you shouldn't do anyway, this helps so much. So it's not got me down as much this time. I suppose I don't care as much as when I was younger as well, and that's partly to do with it, but it's not as bad, and I don't personally think it's as noticeable. This is the 5%, it's also called Acnicide 5% W/W gel. You can't get it any stronger in this country unless you go to the doctor. They may be able to just prescribe it to you, but you can get this from Boots. So the only real kind of exciting thing that happened this week was we actually got our letter through for the 12-week dating scan, which is so exciting. I wasn't expecting it for a few weeks until at least after I'd seen the midwife, but I have received that, and that's for mid-November. I'm actually going to be 13.5 weeks by the time we go to that appointment, which at first I nearly had a meltdown about and rang them and tried to see if they could get me in like an earlier date. And I just kind of calmed down about it and thought, do you know what, obviously as long as everything's okay, the baby will be even more developed by then, so they'll be able to see more, and hopefully it should be even more of an exciting experience than it would have been like the week and a half before. But it's still that extra sort of 10-11 days wait that is just like, oh god, because I'm not the most patient person, if you hadn't have noticed. And then next week, when I'm 9 weeks, I have my first booking in appointment with the midwife, which is very exciting because it feels like the first time the pregnancy's kind of been acknowledged. Apart from that, it's just really been me and my close family. So that will be really nice to speak to the midwife, and I can update you all on that next week. So yeah, I think that's just about everything. These aren't going to be short videos, are they? I really thought I was going to be able to do it, but obviously I can't. But I hope you enjoy this. I won't actually know because I'm recording them all in advance, but I hope you do. So if you're watching this now, please give it a big thumbs up so that I know that you enjoyed it. If you are enjoying watching my pregnancy updates and you're not yet subscribed, there is a link down there to subscribe to my channel completely free, and you can follow me and the family along on this journey together. So please do that, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Oh yeah, I'm going to do a bump shot now. Sounds so weird to say. So this is what it looks like at 8 weeks. It could just be a lot of food, but it's definitely changed shape since before I was pregnant. So that's what it looks like from the front.